Hello and welcome to the Weekly Rio podcast. My name is Ken,
And my name is Jeremy.
and this week we get a movie with carbs because you need carbs. Yes, today we are covering the remake of the 1980s TV show with David Leitch's The Fall Guy 2024. Uh, I know we only missed last week, Jeremy, but it feels like it's been ages since the last time we actually spoke, both online and offline.
Yeah, man, I do feel like I need the carbs right now because you need carbs for your brain.
Yeah. It runs on glucose.
It runs. Dude, yeah, it's been a little bit of a while now. Feel like the rust already started to form, but we're here now to talk about the Fall Guy.
Yes, we are. And obviously, this is Wednesday night. We got another live stream, don't we, Jeremy?
Oh yeah, we're always here. Well, not always. We'll let you know when we're here.
It's like, don't pay attention to last Wednesday.
Don't pay attention. Last Wednesday, we were, doing our own thing.
Yeah. But yeah, we do have our live stream audience. We definitely want to shout them out for always supporting us, especially obviously in season 7. That's our current season, since we did add this YouTube live stream that we got going on. Jeremy, we have a comment already that we want to address.
Yes, because a very welcome guest that is always watching, Sean, is in the comments right now. He said, "Made it for the greatest movie of all time." That's I didn't know we were talking about Madam Web today.
Wait, are we covering Footloose?
That too. Surprise! We're not talking about the Fall Guy anymore. We're talking about Footloose. But
Yes.
yeah, if you're watching, see, like Sean, we're gonna shout you out if you comment. And it's appropriate that for us to share here on YouTube. We'll show it and shout you out. So if you're there in the comment section right now, let us know that you're here. And if you're watching or listening to this in podcast form, leave us a comment down below and we'll just respond to it later.
Yes, we do have our notifications on, so we'll hop online, hit that YouTube app, and then we'll see your tagging us or actually commenting on our whatever video, and then we'll definitely, one of us will reply back, maybe one or both of us, who knows?
Or ask for Ken specifically. And
Or
then I'll
Jeremy.
pretend to be Ken.
Yeah, no, Jeremy's, he's a social media aficionado. He loves social media. He's always on it.
Yeah, except for Instagram. If you try to message me, if it's on YouTube, I'll definitely see it.
Oh man, yeah, that is true. If it's one platform, it is YouTube. I mean, he even pays for YouTube, which is something that I don't do.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
But
hey,
I do.
what I heard is once you go no ads, you can't go back, right?
Oh, definitely not. Like ads every 2 minutes, impossible.
Yeah, but you know what? If y'all want to, increase our views so that y'all see ads for us, and we can. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Anyway,
Yes.
Jeremy, we got a lot to cover today. So let's go ahead and issue that spoiler warning. If you have not watched The Fall Guy 2024, now's the time to hit the pause button, see the movie, and then just hop back on. Or, as Sean did several weeks ago, hit pause, finish the movie like the last 15 minutes or so, because I think he was finishing. What movie was that? It was Roadhouse.
Yep.
And then he hopped back on and he was able to continue with the live stream, and he was not spoiled at all. So, spoiler warning, you have been spoiled. I mean, you have been warned, I should say. We will be talking about specifics from The Fall Guy. So this week, the star of a huge blockbuster film goes missing, and his number one stuntman must help find that missing star for a lovable movie director, actually first-time movie director, in The Fall Guy, starring Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, and Aaron Taylor Johnson. And so The Fall Guy is out now in theaters. Go see it if you haven't done so. And just like Jeremy said, if you're catching this after the live stream, still comment. We'll be sure to comment and react to your thoughts on this movie. So, guys, if you're familiar with the Weekly Reel podcast, we have this thing called the double feature. And so the double feature is when I have a topic or question that Jeremy has no idea that I'm going to ask, and Jeremy also has one for me. I have no idea what he's going to ask. So for my half of the double feature, Jeremy, The Fall Guy was a nice mix between kind of a love story and this nice little action comedy. So, which aspect of The Fall Guy did you enjoy more? The love story between Colt Seavers and Jody Moreno, or the twist to set up Colt Seavers as the Fall Guy? Basically, the main storyline.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So I know Sean's watching right now. He just showed his comment. I don't know if this is gonna be a hot take right off the bat. Okay. I didn't really like the love story too much. I thought the chemistry it wasn't bad, but it was just like I'm glad it was very much secondary to a lot of the movie because I don't know. It was just middle of the road for me. So I am gonna go easily with the twist, and with everything else, like when Ryan Gosling's character Colt is just kind of going around doing his thing. I much preferred that. And honestly, I forgot it was called The Fall Guy until when that twist came out. I was like, "Oh shoot, I forgot." So I very much was immersed enough into the movie to like the twist. And I didn't know that Aaron Taylor Johnson's Tom Ryder would be actually the villain of the story, him and Gail, the producer. But you know, I was into that part, but the other half, um, it was okay. There were some moments that I might mention a little bit later, but for the most part, Jody didn't really have much to do. Yeah.
I think it's safe to say we can share some of Sean's reaction to what you just said before I
Yeah,
jump in.
he said romance slander.
I mean, he was waiting for the hot take. That's what he
Yeah.
says. And I think when you were kind of going through it, he literally just threw in what? Four? Oh, no, five dots. I was trying to
Yes.
find it.
Yes, the five dots. But here's a quote for you, Sean, if you know this. Slander is spoken, written it's libel.
What movie is that from? That I know that's a movie.
Let's see if Sean gets it. I'll show you in a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, let me comment. Even the he
Even
just
the
commented
Jody
even the
slander.
Jody slander. Oh man.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, let's see where if he could come up with that thing, because I mean I think that's on brand with this movie. I actually got a couple for you later.
Okay.
All right, but
Sounds good.
um, actually the correct answer was all of it. It's C, all of the above.
Okay. All
Just,
of the above.
yeah. No, but to refute what you just said with at least the romance, because I enjoyed the romance, because I don't know if we swap bodies. Is it Freaky Friday yet?
I
Because
think
it's
so.
usually you that that enjoys the romance. I don't know. I know that they previewed a little bit of the banter between uh I almost said Tom Ryder, but I was like, no, that's not right. Between Colt Seavers and Jody Moreno within the trailer, and I tried to do my best to kind of stay away from the trailer because I really wanted to enjoy all the banter between the two. I don't know. I was um immediately immersed the second they were just kind of communicating on that opening oneer,
Mm.
and they were
Yeah.
just kind of like flirting all over like each other from the get-go with the walkie talkies, and I was like, dude, I'm all in. I'm literally all in this movie. And then obviously it just goes to crap after the mishap, and that's what sets off the movie. And I was kind of curious how they were going to, I guess, be apart, and I
Hmm.
thought they explained that part really well. And obviously Colt Seavers was just down on his luck. He basically got stripped away from being able to do something he loved alongside with someone he loved. And it ended up being a fling, and just being cut short just by circumstances. And I don't know, like it's something that obviously he regretted. And I
Hmm.
feel like, well, last 2 weeks ago, I should say, we were talking about missed opportunities in our impromptu past lives
Yeah.
podcast on the
Uh-huh.
Soup du Jour, and I kind of got brought back to that. Sometimes circumstances kind of strip you away from something that is so easy, and it just gets screwed up. And I thought those two did a great job of trying to tippy toe, the elephant in the room when obviously he got brought onto the movie without her knowledge, and I felt that it was done and executed perfectly.
Yeah, I didn't expect that whole setup for I don't know. I love that opening sequence though, that short oneer at the very beginning of the movie.
Mm.
And I, I'm just gonna mention it now. Well, actually, no, I won't mention it now. Um, I'm just changing my
it's,
mind all
it's
over the place.
it's okay. I've been there before.
It's like I'm gonna talk about it probably in my question,
Okay.
but I agree. There were definitely moments. I'm trying to think like the chemistry was pretty good. I didn't think it was bad. It's just like it didn't stand. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit like jaded from the whole past lives. You know what I mean? So it's like I almost thought for a second that because Colt is very much in like at the very in the beginning of the movie when they reunite for the first time, he's like he's still head over heels for her clearly, but then she obviously has a lot of resentment for him leaving.
Well,
So
he shut her out
yeah.
at his
So
lowest moment, and when she wanted to help him out and be there for him.
exactly. So it's I almost thought that what if it was a different type of movie, different type of love story that they don't end up together because it's like he's just pining after her and it like doesn't flourish.
Well, they touched on that, right? Because
Yeah.
remember, like, I don't know if it was meta or, obviously within, because it was a movie within a movie. And
Yeah.
so, as the first time director, she was trying to figure out the love story part of what, Act Three. And she was
Yep.
trying to see if like, if she would write an ending would be like more of a happier ending. But because she was trying to draw from her own personal experiences, she wanted to make it realistic, right?
Mhm.
And she was like, "Oh, maybe this movie shouldn't." I forget how she worded it, but maybe this movie shouldn't have a happy ending. It should be realistic because most love stories don't end well. And I was like, "Oh man, past lives, no."
No. Sean said, I just got back from class. Reference went over my head. So the slander and libel joke that was J. Jonah Jameson in the first
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
thank you. Oh my
There we
god,
go.
I just rewatched that movie, not
Oh
in
yeah,
theaters, not on the what Spider Monday or whatever
yeah,
they've
Spider
been calling.
Mondays.
But I just rewatched it on Disney Plus because I'm kind of broke right now.
And Sean says the moment I saw Ryan Gosling, instant perfect movie. Well, I have a news for you. In part 2 of the episode, we're going to be talking about top 5 Ryan Gosling movies. So it's not my number one, so it's not the instant perfect movie. I
What?
guess you'll
I don't think
see.
I don't think that's a hot take.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But let us know, you know, later on what your top 5 Ryan Gosling movies are.
Right. And so yeah, I disagree with you, but to add to your points, because I enjoyed the twist as well. The twist was fantastic. It was well done. I liked how he was just hiding in plain sight, meaning Tom Ryder, Aaron Taylor Johnson. He was just hiding in his yacht the whole time. And we saw it early,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh shoot, we didn't realize he was probably hiding out there this whole time." And I always For the most part, I like it when movies drop their title, the title of the movie, smoothly within like the
The
context of the
dialogue, yeah.
movie. Yeah, it was so good, and yeah, they called him the Fall Guy, and obviously, a lot of entendres there. Obviously, stuntmen do a lot of falling,
Yep.
but he ended up taking the blame for the other Fall Guy who died or got killed. But I feel like that was an accident. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this movie, like when you said he was just hiding in plain sight. I was like, man, this investigation that Colt is going through is taking a really long time. I was like, but I was like, oh yeah, this guy's not like a detective. He's not a secret agent. He's not even an assassin like Brad Pitt was in Bullet Train.
Yeah. He's a
Uh,
stuntman. Plus, he got inebriated and he was seeing unicorns for a while. So that slowed him down even more.
exactly.
And I mean, he had the perfect distraction in Jody. I mean, dude, he was head over heels. Um,
And he
I don't
was
know.
wearing a neon suit.
That
So
was that was pretty swagalicious.
I know, right there. Very, very much a Ken move right there.
Yeah, I think so.
It definitely had the Kenergy. Okay, that was the last Barbie reference for a while. For a while.
Until later.
Until later.
Yeah.
In 5 minutes from now. Okay, so my half of double feature, I wanna dude, this movie is jam-packed with Easter eggs, pop culture references. Some are just running jokes, some are just quick hitters. So I want to know, what was your favorite Easter egg or pop culture reference?
Fast and the Furious quote.
Oh, really? You like that one?
Because I caught it right away. I was like, and then it's funny because what was his name? Dan, the guy who plays M'Baku,
Yeah.
Winston Duke.
Winston Duke's character is Dan Tucker.
Dan. So like all of a sudden he would just name a quote. I was like, wait, why does that quote sound familiar? It's like, is that Fast and the Furious? And all of a sudden, like he's thinking, and you could tell it was like a smooth transition into the game that they play. It's like an inside joke. I was like, dude, me and Jeremy should start playing this.
Literally just what I did like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, dang, who said that? And I just recently heard it. But no, that was a good pull. J. Jonah Jameson, I love it.
All right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
But I love any type of, I guess, Fast and the Furious quotes or references because I think, well, we literally spoke 2 minutes right before we hopped online. We both ended up watching the new Rockstar's breakdown of this movie, and I'm kind of glad that I did because I found a couple tidbits that I didn't really know. But anyway, I was like in that opening montage where Colt Seavers is narrating over a bunch of stunt work, like a stunt montage, I should say.
Yep.
I didn't realize it, but I was like, man, why does that scene look so familiar? And one of the scenes was actually from Fast Five, and so
Yeah,
I thought it
the
was pretty
train
cool.
scene.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool that they did that. They reference the Vin Diesel line from the first Fast and the Furious, and then obviously you got the great Jason Momoa, who we'll touch on later, I would imagine.
Who was also in the Fast and Furious.
Furious movies. Yeah, it just all comes back to stunt work and Fast and the Furious, and I'm like, yes, that fits the bill.
Yeah, dude, there's a bunch, especially when you go into what's his name's apartment, Tom
Ryder
Ryder's
with
apartment
the Post-its.
The Post-its. There's just endless
good.
Easter eggs. But for me, my favorite is when they play All Too Well by Taylor Swift,
Yes.
and Ryan Gosling, Colt Seavers, is just in his fields.
That's why I was like, dude, how can you not like the love scene?
Okay, look.
Dude.
I'm not saying I don't like the love story.
Come on,
It's like,
man.
oh, that scene is literally perfect. I was cracking up like crazy because and I agree with you, Sean. The part where literally me is sat in the car listening to Taylor Swift. Yes, very much so. Every shot of Ryan Gosling in that scene is like a meme worthy everything. Like when he rolls down the window and like he's still like his cheeks are all still like wet from his tears.
Yep.
It's like
Are you crying?
listening to Taylor Swift. And Sean says the fact that Colt got motivated to go back to stunts with the Rocky quote. Yeah. It's like, you keep moving forward.
I love it. But yeah, I don't know, the Taylor Swift song is was so good. Actually, the needle drops were really good in this movie. I felt that performance by Jody Moreno. You talk about Jody Moreno not having enough to do. She performed Against All Odds by
That's
Phil
true.
Collins. And how can you
did
say
like
that she didn't do too much? She actually sung that really well. I think that was actually her voice.
Like, I'm not saying that she didn't do anything. I'm saying, like, to push the story. Like, she did interesting stuff, but she didn't, like, she's there. Like, wondering and, like, she's trying to fix her movie and get Colt at the same time. But in terms of, like, she didn't get integral until like the third act, when she helps Colt and like and from the Miami Vice stunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was the motivation throughout the movie.
Exactly. But she's like, it's like, it sounds weird to say that she was just the motivation for this movie.
Well, I mean, she was the director, so
Yeah. Let's see. Sean says, nah, the love story is up there.
say he sides with this guy right here.
Yeah. Are you saying, like, am I gonna say, is it better than his romance in The Notebook? Yeah, I am. Because
Yeah.
it was pretty weird in, like, for me, another Ryan Gosling movie. This was like, I'm not saying the romance was bad in this movie.
All
I'm
Ryan
just saying it
Gosling
could have
movies
been
are perfect, just like Sean's.
all of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Top 5 is like his whole discography, or not his filmography. I mean,
Like, if I'm comparing the romance of this movie compared to The Notebook, I prefer this movie. So that's saying something, right?
I think so. I mean, I think that's still a hot take, but I mean, The Notebook is still a classic.
It is.
How much of a classic? You'll have to just wait until part 2.
That's true.
Oh,
See,
shoot.
Sean says, nah, your hot takes not enough.
Yes. Can you feel the energy?
Okay. But he's also saying clapping back with La La Land. Oh, don't get me started on La La Land. La La Land's romance.
Hey, don't step on part 2 of this
I
live
know.
stream.
I'm just
All right,
saying.
we'll get to that
Yeah,
a little
we'll
bit
get
later.
there. Yeah,
We'll get there, Sean.
I know. Dang, this guy's just going on. He's defending Ryan Gosling, man.
Yeah. No. Hey, you know
So,
what?
ew. Whoa.
You have some friendly fire here. So I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you. Ryan Gosling right now, I feel like is arguably top 3 right now in the field. I'm trying to think who else would be up there. Ryan Reynolds.
Nah, I would put Gosling over Reynolds right now.
Okay. Yeah, who's up there right now?
That's a good question. Who would you go out and see? Like, if it's just for the actor, who would you go see right now?
I feel like Cillian Murphy's pretty hot right now.
That's
coming
true.
off of Peaky Blinders and obviously a TV show, but obviously Oppenheimer. Anyway, I feel like we're just going off on tangents now. Speaking of tangents,
Yep.
let's introduce one of our new segments called The Dailies. And so The Dailies is a segment where we have a lot of raw, uncut, random thoughts that we have on the Fall Guy. Before you introduce yours, I got my quote for you. Which movie is this from? I was shooting aliens way before I was paid to.
His freaking Matthew McConaughey accent is just so like I love it
Ah! Yes, you are right.
because the movie is literally if you mixed Dune with Mad Max, but
Uh-huh.
also put Matthew McConaughey as the star because it's like Interstellar at the same time. It's weird.
Yeah, then isn't there a movie called Cowboys and Aliens? So I
Oh,
feel like
Cowboys and
that's what.
Alien?
Yeah.
Yeah. With
Oh
yeah,
man.
Daniel Craig
Oh my
with
god.
a kind of a weird accent in that movie, but
Seriously, when he said that, I was probably the only one in my theater laughing my ass off. There was literally only two groups because I watched. Okay, um, I wasn't able to watch this movie until pretty late. It was actually yesterday afternoon in IMAX because it was discount Tuesdays. I was like, IMAX for $11, I'm all in.
mhm.
And so, uh, yeah, and it was literally my group and another group, and that was it. So I felt I was kind of missing in being immersed in the movie,
Mhm.
especially if I was the only one laughing at a lot of these meta jokes.
That's true. There was a lot of movie references, a
hmm
lot of movie terminology, so it could fly over a lot of people's heads for sure.
Yeah, but when Tom Ryder did his Matthew McConaughey, I was like, damn, that was really good actually. I was shooting aliens right before I was paid to. All right, all right, all right. I
You
almost
should
got
have
that shirt. I should have bought it. Now that I think, I was in Austin over the weekend, and he went to Texas. I mean, we talked about that one other video that we can't probably quote here on live stream. You know which one I'm talking about with the biceps.
Oh yeah. See, I was about to start it and then not finish it,
We
but yeah.
should probably should say it
Yeah.
anyway. There was there was a shirt with the Texas Longhorn thing, but it was a gray shirt that literally in orange said "All right, all right, all right." I'm like, should I get it? I was
You
like,
should have got it.
I should have got it. Now it's just a lost cause. I should. Man. Anyway, the dailies. Do you have any? I just
Yeah,
wanted-
everyone knows how much I love Dune.
Mhm.
So
the Lamentations voice.
so the lamentation like every time that cut that quick edit happened and it just cuts off, I was like so good. I was dying when that happened. Every time it's like and
That
he
was
just
literally
does-
my next point. If you weren't gonna mention, I was gonna mention it.
it's just every time it's like, oh, let's go again. It's like every time you had to freaking do the stunt over and over because she was trying to get back. Jody was trying to get back at
Back at
Colt.
him. Yeah, that was so good.
Oh, another one.
Go ahead.
Sticking with that scene,
When that little
extra.
the extra
the extra.
the confession.
What did he say again?
He's like he basically confessed that he was in love with his wife's
His
sister or
wife's
something.
sister, yeah. And I love how it's all digitized his voice still
Yeah.
with like an Australian accent.
Oh shoot. All right, I'm gonna test your knowledge only
Okay.
because they kind of reference a little bit of Jason Bourne in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that when speaking of the alien costume, when Ryan Gosling towards the end of the thing was in that alien costume, dude, I swear Jody Moreno was doing Jason Bourne moves on him. The pen, she used
Oh,
the
yeah.
pen, she used that book and then jammed it in
Dude,
his
literally.
throat. It was literally like choreography pulled from the Jason Bourne trilogy.
Yeah, dude, she used the pen like in Born Identity, used the book like in Ultimatum.
Mhm.
So, right there.
Yeah.
She learned all her choreography from the Bourne movies, which M'Baku, no, I'm just kidding. No, Dan was also just like Jason Bourne
Yeah.
as he's doing moves, and I love the Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Well, that and when he faked his death,
Mhm.
Colt, he actually pulled the Jason Bourne and like just be swimming and stuff and doing I was halfway expecting the Fatboy Slim track to come on.
Dude, I love that. Exactly.
And there's the exact quote. Sean has it.
What, this one?
Yeah.
Can we say it on YouTube?
I'm doing
Probably.
Jason Bourne. Sheesh.
Shit. That's
But
good.
yeah. No, but no. I love the Jason Bourne references. I haven't watched myself Jason Bourne any of the movies recently, but it really got me hyped to try to watch some of them if I have time.
That's true. Okay. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, when I was looking at the movie, Metal Storm, right?
Mm.
Would people like, okay, I love Dune. Everyone knows that. This is not Dune. Like in this universe, even though it stars Jason Momoa, at the very end, when they have like the little clips of Jason Momoa doing his thing in Metal Storm, I'm like, holy crap, this movie looks like a straight to DVD, like sci-fi, like on the sci-fi channel. I'm like, why are people hyped for this movie?
It's a love story between Aliana and a space cowboy. That's why.
I mean, it's like, is it like it would probably get worse reviews than Cowboys and Aliens, which is saying something, because that movie got really bad reviews. If people don't remember that
Oh man.
2009 movie,
Something like that,
something like
yeah.
that.
Oh man. Well, well, kind of going back to Dune because you mentioned it. That new rock star. I didn't realize that was the actual, I guess, voice or the singer that sings that Lamentations part in Dune for that part, as she reprised her role for Metal Storm. I thought that
I'm
was
off.
pretty funny.
They just keep using the same like clip every
Yeah,
time, and I
yeah.
loved it.
Speaking of sound,
Mm.
I have a couple for you. That one part where I forget which action scene, but they busted out with the $6 million man like
Oh
audio
yeah,
thing. I can't even do
they're
it.
in Tom Ryder's
There's
apartment,
apartment,
and
yeah,
then he's holding the hard drive, I think,
right,
or cell phone. Cell phone.
cell phone,
Yeah, and gets shot.
yeah. He busted out with that, and obviously in the post credit scene, we actually get Lee Majors, who actually played the original Fall Guy, Colt Seavers in the TV show, and that was actually his show. He was also the $6 million man. So I love the how everything just ties in together. It's pretty cool.
That's true. At first, I was like, "Holy crap, who's this guy?" It's like, but
I
yeah,
knew they were gonna try to figure
find a
out how
way.
to get the cameo, and then they were able to get both Heather Thomas and Lee Majors in the end sequence, the
Yeah.
final. Yeah,
In that post credits scene, some might say that Aaron Taylor Johnson or Tom Ryder didn't see that coming.
no, he did not.
Yeah,
It was an explosive ending to Tom
exactly.
Rider.
That was a reference to Avengers: Age of Ultron when he plays
Yeah.
what's his name,
Oh yeah,
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver.
You
Oh,
did not
didn't see that coming. I forgot
didn't.
about that. And he
Anywho,
actually had the blonde hair, so he really kind of did look like Quicksilver this movie
yeah,
with weird neon clothes.
yeah, he's very much not a cool guy.
Oh man. Well, last thing that I have on my dailies. I mean, I
Mm.
mentioned it earlier with mentioning Against All Odds. What was your favorite needle drop of this movie? There was a lot. I mean, you got
Ooh.
the Taylor Swift song that we alluded to earlier. We got Phil Collins. I'm looking at the soundtrack now. I Was Made for Loving You, performed by Kiss. We got Thunderstruck, AC/DC.
I feel like
We
that
even
song's
got
overplayed in movies. You know what I
it
mean?
is, yeah. But we got DJ Khaled featuring T Pain. All I do is win
Yeah.
when he turns on the lights in Tom Ryder's um,
Apartment.
apartment.
Yeah.
So, did you have a favorite?
Dude, honestly, the first two are my favorite. The Taylor Swift and Against All Odds.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I agree that Against All Odds, her Jody singing it while Colt is like going through his whole action sequence,
Yeah.
especially when they're in that uh
Gar-
is it like a truck bed type
Truck.
thing
Yeah.
where it's tipped on its side and it's basically horizontally like or spinning on an
Spinning. Yeah.
axis pretty much, and
Hmm.
they're like punching each other on the inside. I thought that was really cool. But I still have to go with the Taylor Swift, man. It's like too relatable. Like
Hmm.
it's as silly as like when you think about the next time, like whoever, all you people watching right now, next time like you're crying in your car, you're gonna think of this scene and how silly you look.
Oh,
So
wow.
then that makes it everything better, right? Sometimes it's like you just have to see the comedy and everything. One man's tragedy is another man's comedy.
Unless you're in it.
That's true, unless you're very much in it. But when you look back on it, it's kind of funny.
Uh, Debatable. Again, unless you're in it. I think I'm still reliving past lives. Sorry.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, like there's some things though
Yeah.
that never get funny. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, that's true.
There are some things. Some
Oh man.
things
Yeah.
do. Some things, man, you can never let go.
Yeah. Those are my favorite too as well, but I will go with the older song, Against All Odds. It brought back the feels. It was perfect. Um Man, I didn't know that Emily Blunt could sing, and she sang that really well. And it brought back it brought the feels back in obviously kind of that pull between action comedy and love story. And I felt like it kind of was a perfect I guess song to I guess drum up the emotions, especially since we had Colt Seavers fighting and stuff. And actually oh my goodness, we're forgetting is it Stephanie? Oh my goodness, I forgot her first name. Stephanie Shu?
Oh yeah, from Everything Everywhere.
Everything Everywhere. Yeah, she played the assistant Alma Milan,
Yep.
and she ended up helping him out. Definitely got to
Yeah.
bring her up.
With
I thought
Jean Claude,
yeah,
the dog.
named
Yeah.
after the our favorite. I want to do the
Kickboxer.
dance.
Yeah, I can't do the dance. Can't see the hips though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shout out to the dog, right, Sean? Jean Claude, who only takes commands in French.
In French. Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Anyway, now that you've heard, I think our thoughts on most of the movie, now you get to hear how we truly feel about this movie in the real review. Jeremy, why don't you go ahead and kick this segment off?
Okay, here we go. Get prepared. I'm trying to process. Was there an easy transition? No, let's go right into it. Okay. There were many times in this movie I wondered if I truly liked it or not. At times, I felt like the story was going all over the place, but nowhere at the same time. But I felt like, now thinking about it, that was kind of the point. Ryan Gosling's character, Colt Seavers, is not a detective, so, you're going to get into some hijinks. Stuff isn't going to get figured out very easily. I found that Emily Blunt's character, Jodie, wasn't given much to do outside of the third act, which is debatable for some people. There are some genuinely funny moments, and the action is actually pretty good, coming from a director who's very much familiar with stunts. I feel like Ryan Gosling just carries the movie on his shoulders. I don't feel like I liked it as much as what's his name? David Leitch's Bullet Train. I don't think I liked this movie as much as Bullet Train, but for me, that's a pretty high bar to set because of its rewatchability. Overall, Ryan Gosling's performance, the comedic tone of the movie, and stunts save it from kind of just a plain story. So I'm gonna give The Fall Guy a 2490 out of 3,000. So that's gonna be 83%.
Ooh, I was expecting something way lower.
Oh
I
no,
don't know
man.
why.
You know why?
I don't know why.
Like, because I was thinking about this. I like when I score stuff. I mostly think about movies that we've watched this season,
Okay.
right? I don't think about
Yeah.
when we talked about Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Um, it's like, do I like this more than Roadhouse? You know?
It better be yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, I did like it more than Roadhouse. Do I think it was a better movie than Dune Part 2? No, not really. But I think I would probably rewatch it more. So it's I kind of
Yeah.
like leaned it towards that side. So
I
83.
I agree actually. I mean, you'll see how much I like this movie, but yeah, I agree with that take, especially compared to Dune Part 2, given the fact that we basically got Dune negative point 1.0. I don't know. It felt like this was like Dune from a alternate universe.
Some might say that Hellstorm might be better than Dune Part 1.
Oh,
Oh,
shots
shoot.
fired at Denis Villeneuve.
Shots fired. Go watch my rant on Part 1 for like an
You know,
hour
I'm
and a half.
sure Sean would actually agree with that.
I know. This one had
Oh shoot.
Ryan Gosling in it.
Yeah, it did. It
Even if
did.
it's just a stunt man, you know.
Oh man. All right, for my real review. Fall kicking off the summer. Well, The Fall Guy was the perfect movie to kick off the summer blockbuster season. It's the quintessential popcorn flick. The Fall Guy has lovable leads in Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, villains who shall remain nameless that you will grow to hate. And it's the perfect balance of love story, action, and comedy, not to mention a memorable cameo. With money being a little bit tight these days, with sky high prices on everything, including fast food, I can understand that the movie theater experience may be taking a backseat for most. However, The Fall Guy will be worth every penny and should be elevated to a must watch theater experience. On the I Love You 3000 scale, I'm giving it a huge thumbs up. I'm giving it a 2640 out of 3000, which is an 88%. It's in the conversation for movie of the year so far for 2024.
Okay, yeah, man. I'm not angry at that score.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I wanted to sit on the negative side of the commentary was
Yeah.
because I knew I didn't want to sing praises to this movie the entire time.
And I get it.
Yeah,
Sometimes like the plot for me was a little hokey. I mean,
which
but it's meant to be like that, Like
exactly
we're not trying to dissect like a movie like Rush Hour and like, try to expect it to be like a Martin Scorsese film. It's popcorn. It's a popcorn film, and I feel like
for sure.
it's one of those where maybe really the only thing that matters is you being entertained on for me, Tuesday night, and whether or not you would want to rewatch this movie because of the likability of the characters. And I felt like the plot twist was strong enough to kind of hold my attention throughout the movie. So a big thumbs up for me. I loved it.
Yeah, because Sean says, you know what? We take 10 score. Is that the sad eyes emoji?
Hey, Sean, do you think that score was enough? I
I
had
don't
to.
know, man. And when you say we take 10 score, who's we in this situation? Sean
Sean and
and
his significant other.
oh, he
Hey,
says easy 4,000.
we love it.
We,
Our first 4,000 in the history
yeah,
of the Weekly Reel podcast.
yes, Sean goes 4,000 with this movie. I guess we'll see what he scores other Ryan Gosling movies in a little bit then.
Oh, well, yes, exactly. You know what though? I mean, we've given our real review. Now let's see who will take a point. Well, this week's point. Hopefully, it's not another tie, but hopefully
You're
we
gonna
will get
jinx
a.
it again.
Yeah, we don't want to jinx it again, but this segment is called Guess the Rotten Tomatoes Score. For season 7, we obviously wiped the slate clean. We're several movies now into this competition. Jeremy is currently up 7-5. And so, Jeremy, what is your Rotten Tomatoes score for The Fall Guy 2024?
I am guessing 79%.
Ooh, okay. I don't think we're gonna get tied, but we'll see. I'm guessing a little higher at 85%.
85. Okay. And here we go. I have the Rotten Tomatoes thing ready. We have
Oh
Ken.
no.
Why did you say that? Ken?
Yeah.
Ken? Is this Ken enough for you?
You gotta be kidding me. Oh my god.
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
That was not planned, I swear to God. Holy.
My God.
My God, my God, my God, King.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Holy.
The wrestling commentary right now.
Okay. 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 3 weeks ago, we had a 10-point, actually, no, 20-point spread between our guesses. I guess 72. Jeremy guessed 92. And 2 weeks ago, it was the Civil War was 82%, right in the middle. 2 weeks ago, when we guessed the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, what was it? I guess 81. No, wait, hold on. I have it here.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I guessed. Oh man, maybe I don't have it. Never mind.
Let's see. I guessed.
Oh no, you
I
guessed
guessed
73.
73. You guessed.
I guessed 71, and it was a 72.
Yes. That was super close.
That was super close. I mean, dude, there was only one score that would have tied us, and that was the score. And this week, Jeremy with the 79, me with the 85, and it's an 82. We do not plan these things, folks.
We definitely do not plan it. If it was planned, I would be winning. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know. We would drum up the excitement a little bit more instead of giving ties every freaking week in a row. So we both get the point, unfortunately.
I guess unfortunately for Ken again.
For me, yeah. I should be specific with that. Jeremy's now up to 8. I'm up to 6. Still down by 2 for like forever.
This is the beginning of this just down by 2.
Holy shoot, that's crazy. But yes, 8-6. Heading into our next movie, which will be in a couple weeks, right, Jeremy?
Yep, because next week we're gonna be watching another Ryan.
2 weeks.
Oh, in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot when this movie comes out. We're going to be watching another Ryan in 2 weeks, in which a young girl who goes through a difficult experience begins to see everyone's imaginary friends who have been left behind as their real friends have grown up. In If 2024, directed by John Krasinski, the husband of Emily Blunt. So it's all tied together. We got
man.
Ryan Reynolds in If, directed by John Krasinski. And so these movies are all tied together, man.
Yeah. Directed by Jim and starring starring Michael Scott.
There you go. Yeah.
He's one of the actors in it. Yeah. But yes, just to clarify, that live stream for If will be in 2 weeks on May 22nd because If comes out May 17th. So just want to clear that up for you all. Jeremy, we've been using this whole new platform for season 7. Would you like to shed some light on it?
Yes, because if you didn't know and you're just listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, we are actually now on YouTube Live on surprise YouTube. And on YouTube, you can interact with us. Like, for example, Sean right now just commented the Ryan verse is real, which it very much is. I can't wait for the team up movie where we have Gosling and Reynolds instead of Deadpool and Wolverine. That's what I want to see. I want to see Ryan and Ryan in the next movie. So I'm
And
looking forward to that.
and Ryan Howard from The Office. No, just kidding.
So if you want to comment and watch us live, not every Wednesday, but we'll let you know ahead of time on YouTube Live. Go check us out, the weekly Real podcast on YouTube. Hit the subscribe and bell notification to get all up to date with when the live streams happen.
Yes. Also, follow us on Instagram at Weekly Reel. There we will post updates to, when episodes will get dropped. We'll go ahead and post direct links to YouTube videos, obviously the live streams, as well as links to Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We kind of mix it up a little bit. And also we post reels in the form of, just random clips from the live stream. So check us out at Weekly Reel on Instagram. Also follow us on TikTok at Weekly Reel Pod. There you'll see our reel reviews. It's a TikTok exclusive. Also, we put our soup du jour fun edits on there as well. And so I have, I try to use my imagination to kind of present what our content is on the soup du jour. Again, that's a TikTok exclusive. Follow us at Weekly Reel Pod. Get us over the 200 view jail cell that they've put us in.
Seriously. It's the algorithm. We can beat it, guys.
Yeah, so we just need to get over 200. I think once we get that hump, I think we'll get that channel to grow. Especially since update on TikTok, I think they sued the U.S. government. So hopefully that kind of gets tied up in the courts and we're good for the next couple years.
Yeah, just a couple.
Yeah. You know what? We love TikTok. Don't take it away from us. Anyway, Jeremy, we got part 2 coming up after a quick break. So definitely check us out there. Stay tuned. For those of you that are still on the live stream, we will be talking about Ryan Gosling, more Ryan Gosling, really. And
it's Ryan Gosling Day.
Yeah, it is.
For anyone who didn't know, it's Ryan Gosling Day. So whenever you watch this movie or watch this live stream, it's Ryan Gosling Day.
It is Ryan Gosling. Every day is Ryan Gosling Day.
Exactly.
And we'll do our part. We'll try to rank our top 5 Ryan Gosling movies. So before we end part 1, I just want to remind everyone to check out our previous episode 119 on the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, now available to stream on YouTube, Spotify, as well as Apple Podcasts. Also, as Jeremy mentioned, watch the movie If by John Krasinski. He's directing it. If it's coming out in theaters May 17th, so check that movie out before our live stream on May 22nd, which is 2 weeks from now. And so, on behalf of Jeremy, my name is Ken. We are the Weekly Reel Podcast. Stay tuned for part 2. But for those of you listening on a podcast, we'll see you next time on the Reel.
Okay, hello. Welcome back from the break. Let's jump into the soup du jour.
What's the soup du jour?
Well, it's the soup of the day.
That sounds good. I'll have that.
We got it. I think we got it, right?
Yeah.
Woo! All right, every time. It's like it never gets old, right, guys?
Never does. Actually, I just happened to see that scene again on on a random reel on Instagram, and I laugh every time I see it. So good.
Yes. If everyone doesn't know, that's from Dumb and Dumber, which is we covered that movie twice.
We love that movie so much. We
Not-
dedicated a couple of hours to it,
yes, not even.
and it's
like
not even that long of a movie.
If you combine our commentary, it's longer than the movie.
So
Well, our topic today for the soup du jour, like in part one, talking about the Fall Guy, and the Fall Guy is Ryan Gosling, and it's Ryan Gosling Day, so we gotta talk about more Ryan Gosling. So we're gonna be doing our top 5 Ryan Gosling movies. Ken,
Oh, I'm trying to do my best.
that best
Ken dance.
there you go.
Oh, we
Oh,
reached the witching hour. Holy
There
crap.
we go. So if you're if you were just listening to that part, we were not dancing. So if
I
you
don't
want
think
to
we can't call that dance.
yeah. If you wanted to see that, go on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh.
So Ken, you want to kick off? What is your top 5 Ryan Gosling movies?
All right. Let's see. Top 5 Ryan Gosling movies. I'll start off with my honorable mention with I wrote you every day for a year.
Once again, you said it like Harry did in Dumb and Dumber.
It's not over. It's still not over. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, honorable mention only because I mean, yeah, I think when we rewatched the movie, there was a couple of just random like troublesome spots, but it's still a classic to me. That's why it's an honorable mention. I'm going with The Notebook. It's actually it might be the first Ryan Gosling movie that I remember watching, the earliest one anyway that I do remember. I don't know. I'll have to look at his filmography again. Anyway, that's my honorable mention. So kicking off the top 5, we just covered in part 1. I'm going with The Fall Guy. I don't know if it's recency bias, but I really like the movie. And again, check out part 1 to see how much I did like the movie. I feel like it was a very versatile movie. It had a love story that I was invested in. Both Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt were both likable, and the twist was really good. So, The Fall Guy, number 5. Number 4, I don't know again if it's recency bias, but I'm just Ken. It's number 4 to me. It's such a good movie. Ryan Gosling does steal the show in large chunks of this movie. In a
He
movie,
very much does.
yeah, in about a movie that really is all about Ken being more in the background because Barbie's the headliner, and Barbie was the headliner. But it was amazing work by Greta Gerwig. I guess one of my small regrets for the Weekly Reel podcast is we never got a chance to cover Barbie
Yeah.
in season 6. So I don't know. Maybe we may revisit that someday. We'll see. But that's number 4 for me. I feel like a lot of these are recent for me. I don't know if it's recency bias. Number 3, Blade Runner 2049. I just watched it. That movie was impactful. Oh my goodness. Ryan Gosling plays a character named Kay. I would like to think that stood for Ken. And he gives a great performance. I don't want to obviously give off any spoilers because I feel like the character he plays is very important to the Blade Runner, I guess, universe. So I highly recommend watching the first one that came out in 1982, directed by Ridley Scott, before watching 2049. That goes for Jeremy because I know he hasn't seen it.
See,
But
yeah.
yeah, but Blade Runner 2049 is so good. It's got, I don't know, it takes a swing and it hits it out of the park for most of the scenes. It's so good. Number 2, I want to say Jeremy also hasn't seen this movie.
Mm.
This may be a hot take for it being this high, but I absolutely love this movie. Crazy Stupid Love,
Oh yeah.
starring obviously Ryan Gosling. We got Emma Stone, Michael Scott himself. uh, Julianne Moore's in this movie, and then the guy from Footloose, the greatest movie ever, Kevin Bacon's in this movie as well. Crazy Stupid Love at number 2, and that just leaves number 1. We covered it earlier in this podcast season. I forget which season it was, but just search for it. It's La La Land, a real love story.
Oh man.
If you know what I mean. Actually, you know how we were talking about movies that'll like that we like to revisit to be in our feels. I wanted to text you later on that night after 2 weeks ago when we were talking
Mhm.
about this past lives. We were talking about Your Name. We were talking about 500 Days of Summer. This is actually in that
Same vein.
rotation.
Yeah.
In that rotation, I watched this. I bought it recently. I was contemplating playing it on on my plane ride coming back from my trip because I wanted to be in my feels for 2 hours.
Dude, I think I told this story on the podcast before. That I've watched La La Land multiple times, but for whatever reason, I always forget that they don't end up together. Spoiler alert. Um, so every time I watch the movie, it's like I'm watching it for the first time. So it's like blessing and a curse that I can't remember what happens in La La Land because I love it every time I watch it.
It's
It's just like,
such a
oh
good movie.
no, every time.
Every t-
Um,
every time I think about or visit LA, I will watch it. I think I probably
mm,
watched that movie at least a dozen times. I saw it in theaters when it came out and was like, I don't know why I like that movie, but it's one of my favorite movies. It really is one of my favorite movies of all time. Um, that movie, I I don't know. Wait, you watched at least parts of this past Oscars, right? With
y-
Ryan Gosling performing I'm Just Ken.
yep, that was I think when we talked about it on the Super du Jour one, I think I
Yeah.
forgot one or two.
So
Yeah.
one of those episodes. But on a TikTok post, they were talking about how that performance paralleled La La Land because you got to see Sebastian, played by Ryan Gosling, excel in music,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to see Emma Stone, who played a very, I forget her because I haven't seen Poor Things, but she won the Oscar for Best Actress in Poor Things, and so she excelled in acting, which was the plot of La La Land.
It's that's what I'm saying. It's like this is it's just real life, man. That's how it goes. And
Ah,
right
my
now, Sean
God.
is blowing up the chat. And
Yes.
I'll mention some of his, but like, cause he's just mentioning all of Ryan Gosling's filmography. So I don't know. Is the first comment just like for sure your top five? Or are we gonna add like the Notebook in there? Um, because
He's
he
got
said Crazy
he's got a
Stupid Love.
top 10.
He's yeah, definitely a top 10.
It was
Which
actually, sorry, top 5 but has 10 movies in it.
exactly, it's tough. But Ryan Gosling actually hasn't starred like been like the number one in like he hasn't done many of those movies. I think he's just fairly recently
Mhm,
where he's like the leading man.
mhm.
So when I mean recently, I mean like after 2010, I guess now. Um, but Sean, I'll talk about your list in a little bit, but I'm going to give mine first.
There you go.
My honorable mention is going to be a movie I just finished. It's First Man, and he
Oh,
plays Neil Armstrong.
yeah.
And that movie, oh, also directed by Damien Chazelle.
Mhm.
The score, the music, very much La La Land. I recommend it for anyone who loves like moon stuff and
Damien
spoiler
Chazelle.
alert. Yeah, and Damien Chazelle style in that same and Ryan Gosling. Spoiler alert, they get to the moon. Ooh.
Dude,
We
I
made
was
it.
gonna go see it. I'm just kidding.
No way.
No way. We landed on the moon.
Yes, it's not a fictionalized version. Well, I mean, it is fiction, but a Hollywood version of Neil Armstrong. So I recommend that as my honorable mention. Number 5 is gonna be The Fall Guy. Number 4, I'm going with. I don't think anyone really likes this movie, The Gray Man. I
Mm,
think The Gray Man has its story flaws, but the action I really like in that. It's very much Winter Soldier esque,
I
and
mean,
yeah, it's the
I
Russos.
mean, I could see why.
Yeah, exactly. And you have Chris Evans with the weird mustache. So
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah,
you get Ana de Armas. I mean, who was underutilized in that movie,
very
in
yeah.
my opinion.
I mean, just like in Bond. So
Hmm.
number 3, I'm going with The Nice Guys. I
Mm.
love The Nice Guys so much. Him, Russell Crowe, their buddy cop vibe. It's so good. If you haven't seen The Nice Guys yet, very underrated movie. Number 2, I'm going La La Land.
Oh,
It's like when I just blasphemize like, oh, Moonlight, and I'm just kidding. La La Land. Um, for number 2, for all the obvious reasons. That movie like gets to me every time. And number 1, Ken knows it's gonna be Drive, because dude, Drive is very much like it's slower burn movie,
mm.
kind of the similar vibe of like something of Nightcrawler, but his character there very much. That's where everyone pulls their memes from, and it's that there's a reason why, because it's the best Ryan Gosling movie.
Yeah. I know. I'm ashamed to say I haven't seen it yet. That's
It's
why it's
okay.
not on there.
I mean, I haven't seen Blade Runner 2049. The only
Yeah.
I really want to see that, but I haven't seen the first Blade Runner yet.
Got to see the first one.
And yeah,
Otherwise, otherwise, 2049 ain't gonna make it. It
any
won't make sense.
sense?
Trust
Yeah.
me. I watched it in theaters before watching the first one. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be an expensive nap. Good night, guys.
Okay, that fair enough. So yeah,
And you
do you want
still
me to?
haven't seen Crazy Stupid Love yet
No,
either.
not yet.
Man.
Not yet.
Okay, I guess we both got homework, huh?
I know some
Ryan
Gosling
Gosling
homework.
homework. I mean, it's Ryan Gosling Day, so I might use these next couple of weeks to actually, um, maybe download some. Actually, you know what? I do have another flight coming up, so
I
I got.
want to get Drive on Blu-ray and rewatch it. I really want to
Mm,
watch Drive again.
you know what? I gotta check out to see if it's streaming somewhere, so that I can make it offline, stream it on the way to and or from Hawaii this coming week. Oof,
Yeah,
so good. I'm gonna have a Ryan Gosling marathon on the flight.
there you go.
I'll
I
watch I'll watch the other guys, because I also haven't seen that movie either. Blasphemous, I know.
The Nice Guys.
Oh, the nice guys, yes,
And
the Fall
I was
Guys.
like, the other guys. You
The
haven't
other
seen
guys.
the other guys.
Sorry, yeah, yeah.
It's very
Almost
very
a Freudian slip, but yes.
Sean also mentioned the place beyond the pines.
Hmm.
Haven't seen that one yet. Still
Hmm.
need to see that. I feel like he's always good in every movie that he's in. So, oh, that's what I forgot. I forgot to start off the segment with a little story, because for the longest time I didn't see. This is back in high school. For the longest time, I was like, why does everyone like Ryan Gosling? It's like I can't see. I don't see the appeal. And then, it's just like Ryan Reynolds is better. That's what I told myself.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, out of all the Ryans, we're going with Ryan Reynolds. Now I feel like Gosling has very much caught up in that, the Ryan versus Ryan debate, for me at least. It's like,
Mhm.
oh shoot, they're like neck and neck, which is good. That means I mean, there's no real competition between them two. I don't know why I was thinking of it like that.
But is there?
Yeah, probably somewhere, probably in Sean's heart, because I know he
Yeah.
loves both Ryans.
Yeah. Thanks.
No, but he says Gosling has always been number one, no debate. Really? Really? I
Yeah.
mean, I get it. Like in terms of serious actor, I would definitely go Gosling.
Mm.
But Ryan Reynolds is Waiting, that movie with Ryan Reynolds. I really love that movie. Like some of his comedic timing is I feel like Reynolds could sit at number two. Shoot, man.
Yeah.
When Deadpool and Wolverine comes out, I'm saving this comment, man.
Shoot.
All right, let's get to Sean's
Yeah, get to his
movies
top
though.
5. Yeah.
Okay, from 1 to 5. So I'll list out his five. His number 5 is Drive. Okay. His number 4 is Gray Man.
Oh, hey, there you go.
There you go. Number 3, Fall Guy. Number
Okay.
2, La La Land. And number
Yeah.
1, Blade
Yeah.
Runner 2049. Okay. I like it. I like
I need
it
to see
a
The Nice
lot.
Guys. I really just want to watch that one too because I
If you want just like a good time with like don't have to think too much but have the quick witty humor of I think it's Shane Black,
Mhm.
Iron Man 3. It's like their chemistry is really good together.
I
His
think so.
Sean's honorable mention though. He says this was my first Ryan Gosling movie ever, Lars and the Real Girl. I've never heard of that movie actually. What's it about? Ken, what was your first Gosling movie? Crazy Stupid
I be-
Love?
no, I believe it was The Notebook. Only because
Mm.
I got tricked into watching it, and I was like, "Why are we watching this movie?" And this is when it kind of came out. Like, so we were watching it on, I think Comcast or whatever. It was actually at our grandparents' house at the time.
Hmm.
So it was a family gathering. We actually had some out of town visitors over from family visitors that were visiting for the weekend, and it got suggested to watch The Notebook, and I was like, "Huh, The Notebook, interesting. Okay, let's watch it." I'm like, "Dude, why are we watching this?" By the end of it, I was like hooked. I was like,
You're the
"Damn it,
one that's
why? Why
glued
is
to the
this?"
TV.
I was, "Why is this so good?" Um, but yeah, I actually, it's funny. You were asking me. I actually want to ask you that, but before that, what was the one Ryan Gosling performance that actually got you as a fan?
Let's see. I think the first movie that I saw him in was Drive, I think.
And you were immediately a fan from that.
From then, yeah.
Okay.
It's like before that, like, because I've just known him, he was in Crazy Stupid Love. I obviously didn't see that movie. Crazy
Yeah.
Stupid Love, The Notebook.
Remember the
And
Titans.
remember
He
the
was in
like,
it. I haven't
yeah,
seen
he
that
was
yet,
in
but
it. Oh,
yeah.
you haven't seen Remember the Titans?
No, I have
I
not.
don't remember him in it though. That's the problem.
He plays Alan Bosley. I'm looking at his IMDb right now.
Yeah, there's I don't know. I can't remember that character, but I do love Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
But yeah, because all I knew he was the guy that was like in the romance movies. He was the
Yeah.
Channing Tatum at that point,
Or Matthew McConaughey.
or Matthew McConaughey. And so it's like he needs that one dark role to have him. I'm like, okay, there we go. Drive.
And that's what got you in, right?
And that's what
Drive.
got me in. Drive.
Mm. The one that really caught my attention was Crazy Stupid Love. That's why I have it as high as I do, just because I don't think it's a spoiler, but his character had so much swag in that movie, and I was like, man,
I've seen some
okay,
clips, and I was
yeah,
like, see, this is like this is what I was expecting of
yeah,
Ryan Gosling of the time.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
is it focused just on like one storyline? Because I remember talking about this with you. It was like multiple storylines. So I don't know how I like that type of approach. When
It's
I
not
think
too.
of
It's not too many. Is
okay,
all I'll say. It's you get enough time spent on each storyline, and
how do we
it's
compare it to Love Actually?
oh, dude, the Love
Completely
Actually is
different.
way like it's too spread thin.
Okay, good, because that's exactly how we felt when
Yeah.
we watched it.
This one is you basically spend about double the time in each storyline. That's how many storylines are going
Okay.
at the same time. There's I'm trying to think. I can't remember. I haven't really watched it recently, but yeah, now I kind of want to watch it. I want to say there's like maybe two or three storylines going at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too many, and well, you'll see. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Remember the last movie that I gave you the hard pitch was Past Lives.
Past lives. Yeah, that's true.
I
That's
think
true.
you will absolutely love Crazy Stupid Love. I think it's up your alley.
Okay, like okay. What's weird? I looked up Lars
Yeah.
and the real girl. I looked up the IMDb description. It says a delusional young man strikes up a unconventional relationship with a doll he finds on the internet.
What the heck?
So I was like, how is that your first Ryan Gosling movie? It's not The Notebook. It's not Drive. It's not even Place Beyond Blind. I don't know.
That is funny though
That
that
is
it
weird.
came out after The Notebook though. So he was already
Yeah.
popular or known, I should say, from The Notebook. So
Yeah.
interesting.
That sounds
I
like
love
a
it.
weird movie, man. Okay.
I'm trying to think if I mean it's on MGM Plus. What streaming platform is that?
Yeah, I don't know. Can I just put it on Amazon at this point? Doesn't
Oh,
Amazon?
it's on Tubi.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So if you
Tubi.
want to bypass MGM Plus, I was just kind of looking through it.
Okay. Let's see. All right, let's jump into the comment section if we have anything. Sean does say Crazy Stupid Love is goated.
Yeah. I'm trying not to reveal too much. Is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Is there a Ryan Gosling movie you don't like? Speaking to you, Ken, and
that's
everyone watching.
that's a good question actually. Let me see. Okay, let's see.
I watched what's it called? Where is
Honestly, no.
no,
he's
all the ones you've seen.
he's yeah. Well, I okay. So the closest I come to not liking a movie only because I haven't finished it yet is The Big Short. I can't. It's
Ah,
incomplete. I've only seen maybe 30 minutes of it, and I think Netflix pulled it by the time I got back to it. I'm like, crap. Okay, I think I slacked a little too hard on it, but no, I like everything that he's made so far.
okay. Everything that you've seen.
Everything that I've seen.
Okay, good.
So obviously that list is incomplete. I need to kind of at least finish it with at least those two movies that are on your top five.
Mm-hmm. I see. I watched like the first 20 minutes of Only God Forgives,
Uh
and
huh.
I thought it was like hella boring. So I don't know if that counts or if I got
Hmm.
to finish it first.
Yeah. Before a couple months ago, I would have said Blade Runner 2049.
Dang. Yeah.
Only because I didn't get it. But that movie is goated, as Sean would say.
Ah, goats.
Yeah, it is very good. Thanks to Denis Villeneuve.
Another good Ryan Gosling movie, maybe honorable mention, The Ides of March. That's another good one with George Clooney
Oh, that's right.
and shoot, what was her name from Westworld? Dolores.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I see her
Yeah, you see her face.
with the
Um,
with the fly.
it is
Millie Bobby Brown. No, I'm just kidding.
no Evan
It was
Rachel
what
Wood.
Evan Rachel Wood. I knew it was a three name.
Yeah, Ides of March. Actually, really pretty good movie. Not as good as First Man. I love First Man
Okay.
more.
You know what? I might watch First Man a little bit later, but it could be only because I want to complete the Damien Chazelle directorial kind of things like that, and then I still need to go see Babylon.
Yeah, I remember we were about to watch it, and then it was
Yeah.
just getting trashed, and we were like, well, I guess we'll watch it later."
but it became underrated later because I heard good things about it too. It really was mixed reviews for Babylon. It depended on what side of the tree you kind of fell on in terms of whether you like that sort of stylish that Damien Chazelle flair, I guess. And
Hmm.
but I heard it was just long, but then some people liked it. Some people didn't care for like the extra fat.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
See, we got a comment here. Jan says, "Sorry, I may be destroying the guilty pleasure devotion of women everywhere, and can apparently."
What?
But the Notebook does not have my undying love. Oh, shots fired.
I had it outside my top 5.
That's
And I
true.
haven't seen a lot of I haven't seen a lot of his movies. So I want to say it is what it I feel like I have it properly rated at 6 out of 5.
Okay. I think that's gonna move
I,
down once you watch more of his movies.
I think so too, but but man, it did have that kind of twist. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but when you get past the whole questionable like dialogue and stuff when they're kind of going out, but the connections to later on in the movie with the
Hmm.
reveal, I thought it brought it all together. Nancy Myers, man, knows how to pull at them those heartstrings,
The
man.
heartstrings. Yeah, like when we covered it here on the show, I think my feelings still hold up. I think with that movie, there are some creepy parts. There are definitely some enjoyable parts, but yeah, like Ryan Gosling, he's not as suave as everyone makes him out to be in that movie.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a labor of love. Sometimes it be like that. You just need to focus all of your energy on something productive, and I
See,
mean, he did. He worked at it.
see exactly. Jan also said, "I enjoy doing a psychological analysis of the movie." Imagine doing a psychological analysis of the Notebook, which is very important because it's very much a classic movie, so you got to take it from a different lens sometimes.
Yeah.
Sean hits the nail on the head, hits the nail on the head of the coffin. I'm not going to even repeat that. I like it just like that. He says, "La La Land hurt me more than the Notebook." LOL. So fair enough,
Yeah.
dude. La La Land, the final scene, it basically turns into the Taylor Swift scene in the Fall Guy. That's like after you watch La La Land, it's that for the rest of the day.
I'm telling you, it's like one of my movies that I watch when I'm already in my feels. It's the Wallow movie. It's the movie that I wallow in.
Yeah. If you want a little bit of music, a little bit of hope.
Yeah, I know. From time to time will play the La La Land soundtrack, and I'll like literally just start whistling. Uh, that's all I'll do. I didn't want to
You'll
whistle right into the mic.
yeah, you'll get a pretty catchy melody when you watch First Man, Damien
City
Chazelle.
of stars,
See,
are
Jan
you
says I haven't seen
shining
La La
down
Land.
for me? What the
If you
heck?
like, yeah, you're like blasphemy.
No, no. Hey, Jan
Like
J, please watch La La
watch La
Land.
La Land. If you like any semblance of, I mean, it's musical,
Mhm.
but not overly so.
Yes, it's I didn't realize it at the time, but Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling have 3 movies together. This one,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, Crazy Stupid Love, and what's that other one? There's a third one.
Zombieland. No, I'm just kidding. Um,
Let me go back on IMDb. I think it's Gangster Squad. Is that the one?
oh, which I haven't seen. I
Yes,
haven't seen
Gangster
Gangster
Squad.
Squad yet.
Yes, that is the third movie. Um, wait, Jan J, City of Stars. How do you know City of Stars without watching La La Land?
I'm guessing Jan probably listen to the soundtrack and not watch the movie. Just like City of Stars, you know. I mean, it is a good song.
And you know what? That's how I knew Ryan Gosling was literally a triple threat. He can act, he could sing, he can dance. And you'll find that out very prominently in La La Land.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, well, thank you everyone for commenting in the comment section. I forgot to change the name, Ken. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Forgot.
We have another couple weeks, so let's go ahead and we could reintroduce. We can reintroduce that segment in 2 weeks.
Yes. Okay. We're gonna end up closing the live stream with one last thing, Ken. I kind of ruined mine with First Man, so I'll mention another one. But yeah,
Okay.
what's your one last thing you want to suggest people want to watch?
Well, in between part 1 and part 2, I put on the comments. I'm like, hey, I wanted to give a special shout out to Sean. Obviously, very much carried the comments in this episode and has done so in multiple episodes. So thank you, Sean, for that. This movie, for one last thing, is dedicated to you, Sean Tierra. I watched Challengers.
Wow, how was it?
So yesterday I did a double feature. I mean, it wasn't a true double feature watching back-to-back movies because I was a little jet lagged still. So I watched Challengers in the morning, had to run an errand, ate some lunch, and then watched what do you call it? The Fall Guy late afternoon, I should say. But Challengers is definitely one of the best movies of 2024 so far.
Wow.
That movie is so well done. Zendaya was amazing in the movie. Her co-stars, I didn't look up their names. I didn't have time to look up their names, but the two other main stars of the movie, if you've seen the trailer, were so good. It wasn't just all about that one scene. And I think we talked about it offline, Jeremy, about how I feel like the trailer didn't do it justice. That story was so tightly knit together that it was very stylish. It had oh man, the way it was shot was so amazing. The score was done by Trent Reznor, who did another classic. I was wondering if it was him because I was like, man, it reminds me of Social Network in the way it's shot, super fast paced, and all the way it like the edits are. I absolutely love the movie, and it's definitely a contender for movie of the year. Challengers, go see it if you haven't done so.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, because the trailers did not sell that movie at all. What happened?
Sorry, I'm reading Sean's.
He has yet to watch it. He says,
What?
when I watched Fall Guy, I got the posters for Challengers. Well, it's Godzilla X Kong. X Godzilla. I need to watch Challengers. I need it.
Yeah, and because he needs to watch it for his queen Zendaya.
Yep. He needs to watch it for his queen Zendaya. Right there.
Sean, highest recommendation to watch. If I loved it, you'll probably like it even more than me.
It's his most anticipated movie of the year.
I know. I'm surprised you haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I've been meaning to go see it, and I finally had a chance to do so on my day off yesterday. I'm glad I watched it. I was 2 for 2 on my double feature. Do they call it the Fall Challengers or the Challenger guys? the Challengers guy.
Probably that one.
But yeah, that was good. So you should go see it, Jeremy.
I should. Now that it's actually like we hear that, or now that I hear that it's good, I'll probably go check it out. For me, I watched, or I'm continuing to watch a Star Wars show called The Bad Batch.
Oh,
It's an animated show on Disney Plus right now. I think they just finished their third season, the series finale. And because it would prompted me to continue the show, now I'm in season 2, is Star Wars Day. I was like, I just felt like Star Wars, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to continue The Bad Batch. And it reminds me of how good that show is. It looks like it's for kids, but there's some cinematography in there. and the way that the writing is very much is like an adult Star Wars show.
Mm.
It feels like Star Wars: The Clone Wars, but with like no filler. Because
Oh, what?
Star Wars: The Clone Wars was basically like a lot of filler, and stories can like happen in different timelines all over the place because they need to pad their episode
Seasons.
count.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it was on network TV compared to this just on Disney Plus. So
Not
just
sponsored.
like yeah, not sponsored at all. All right. Sean says, "School's been cooking me, guys. That's why I haven't been
Mm,
here on my favorite movie bag till fall guy. No problem, man. I know it's
yeah,
busy time of the year,
makes sense. Kind of
but
going
you're
back to challengers.
mhm.
It's not just all about Zendaya, like in terms of all of her queenness, in your own words. It really does have a really good story. I think you'll like legitimately enjoy that movie.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
by the way, Jeremy, you mentioned Bad Batch. Sorry, I'm like jumping
yeah,
all over.
no, yeah. It's
I
all
have
good.
a short attention span today. Uh, you mentioned May the 4th just happened this past weekend. Were you able to watch any of the re-releases in movie
Oh
theaters?
no, unfortunately not.
Oh,
I would like to see the Phantom Menace in theaters since never watched that in theaters.
I think that's getting a full 25-year treatment. Not so. I know
Oh,
that for May the 4th they did like a full marathon. I think they were releasing like all of them. But
oh, shoot.
because the Phantom Menace is celebrating their 25th anniversary this month,
Hmm.
that may still be in theaters.
I mean, yeah, I would like to see all of them,
Yeah.
obviously, but yeah, if I were to watch a prequel one, I don't know. I haven't seen the Phantom Menace in a long time.
If don't break up with me on Jeremy, don't cancel on me, Jeremy. But if you want to watch Phantom Menace this weekend, let me know.
Yeah,
No pressure.
guess
I
we'll
don't
see
need
what
an answer
happens.
from you online. I don't want my heart broken like past lives
Oh dang. Or
or
yeah, we
Ryan
don't want to say
Gosling
anything. Yeah, or Ryan Gosling in
and
general.
Emma Stone and wait, who else? Wait, who's the actor? Oh, Rachel McAdams. I'm trying to name all the love story
Yeah,
angles here.
exactly. So
Or
well,
who's in Barbie again?
what Margot Robbie?
Margot Robbie. Oh my God, her name escaped me. Sorry. Anyway,
Well,
sorry, I didn't mean to step all over your thing. Go ahead.
no, you're good, Sean. We'll end with this comment. Sean says, "Oh no, it's Ryan Gosling and Queen Zendaya's world. We're just living in it."
Yeah,
Well, we're also in a Barbie world, so don't forget about that.
yeah.
It's pretty fantastic. So there we go. All right, guys, we'll catch you in a couple weeks when we watch If the apparently the number two Ryan, according to Sean Tierra. So we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Why don't we make that 14 days? Okay, fine, 2 weeks.
Yep, we'll see you in 2 weeks with Bring Your Imaginary Friends on the Reel.